Have you ever thought about owning a beautiful property, but you don't want to deal with a lot of the maintenance or even some of the yard work? Well, what if I told you that there is a perfect solution for that, and that is purchasing a condo? Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing with you everything that you need to know about purchasing a condo here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now, if you're interested in purchasing a condo, you want to stick around to the end of the video so you don't miss any of the important information that we want to share with you. My name is Michelle Capers, and I'm the broker in charge of Moving Forward Real Estate. And believe it or not, we get calls and texts and emails from clients just like you on a daily basis looking to move to this great city. Now, whether you're a seller or a buyer or even an investor looking to move in 90 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and all of our information will be in the description box below. We want to help you make a smooth move to the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Cumberland County, and the surrounding areas. Now let's get into this video. Now the first thing that we would do is find out, of course, the condo that you're interested in, and we will get in touch with that HOA property management team. And what we're needing from them is a questionnaire. So what this questionnaire would do is it is going to show us exactly what the property management team, the HOA, is providing and what they're responsible for and what, as the buyer, you will be responsible for. Anything on the outside of your unit, such as the amenities, like I said, again, the exterior. So if there's a pool, if there's parks, trails, and upkeeps of the property, the landscaping, things like that, they usually will cover, and your HOA is a part of that as well. The dues that you pay on the unit, it covers those type of things. The amenities and the insurance policy is going to cover the exterior portion of the building. So with that being said, you as the owner, you will have to take care of the inside. So you would need additional insurance. So I want you to understand that the insurance that they cover is just for the building, the structural, the exterior, their investment, period. So if there is something like, let's just say there's a fire or some type of wind, hail damage, some natural disaster, the roof, the building, the siding, so on and so forth, the structural damage, that master policy is going to cover that. Now, if something like that happens and there is a fire or some type of natural disaster that affects your personal belongings, you're going to need a policy in place to take care and cover your personal belongings. So just keep that in mind, and please understand that just because you're living in a condo and there's not a lot of maintenance for you to take care of as a homeowner, you do have responsibilities to protect your belongings. So one of the things that we want to look at with the particular condo that you're interested in, and we want to see if that condo qualifies for the type of financing that you may need. So you can find out this information as well by going on the HUD website. So if the condo doesn't qualify under the HUD guidelines, we can also check with the lender and see if it may qualify under a conventional terms. But we need to check early on before we, put pen to paper, before we submit a contract. We need to find out, either or, whether it's under the HUD guidelines or whether we can go conventional, and find out the terms and the qualifications for that type of lending as well. And next on the list, if you're interested in purchasing a condo, just know that you will be paying HOA dues. And so here in Fayetteville, we're looking at HOA dues for condos somewhere anywhere between $150 a month to $300 a month, just depending on the unit. And what this covers is the utilities in the common areas. It could cover the building maintenance, repairs in the common areas, landscaping, building security, sometimes the trash, even within your unit, but definitely the trash for the actual building, and the amenities on the properties. So those are some of the items that your HOA dues are covering. Now, please understand this as well, and it's sometimes we don't, first-time home buyers, you don't take this into consideration. You have a monthly payment, which is your PITI. That is your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So if your HOA dues are, let's just say $200 a month, and your monthly payment is $1,000 a month, so your expenses just for those two items are actually $1,200 a month. First-time home buyers, you all are not considering those extra fees that you're paying, such as your HOA fee, your termite maintenance, and then your home warranty maintenance. Those are three items that kind of is like a gray area in the financial portion of your portfolio that we miss sometimes. So once you get that number and you find out from your lender what your PITI would be, which is your monthly payment, you want to take in consideration what that monthly HOA due is, and what if you are going to, which is advisable to get a home warranty, what that fee would be a month, and if you're going to get some type of termite maintenance in place, to take care for them to come on the inside of your unit and spray on the inside. The homeowners association may have some type of termite maintenance bond, in place that comes around once a month, every quarter, once a year, or maybe even twice a year. They might have that, but they'll spray on the outsides of the unit. You as a homeowner, you are responsible for the inside, so you would need, in addition, something outside of your insurance, you would need that termite inspection. And the same rule applies for you. If you get on some type of termite maintenance, you can have them come once a month, you can have them come, once a quarter, once a year, twice a year, just depending on what works better for you and your budget. So we also want to know with the homeowners association what type of rules they have, because you may have a feeling to have a green door or something like that, and that's just not with homeowners association. It's also with single family residents that has HOAs in that particular subdivision as well. We always want to find out the covenant rules and what type of rules they have in place for that particular area, because you might have a thing for putting up wreaths and lights and some type of decor for Christmas or Thanksgiving and things like that. You're really festive, but they have rules that they don't want wreaths on their doors, or they don't want lights in the community on the buildings. It could be a fire hazard or something like that. But so we want to make sure that we find out all of that information beforehand, because we wouldn't want you to get into a unit and you are, you kind of feel like stifled, that you can't live and express yourself in this unit that you own versus renting, because a lot of times when you're renting, you kind of know up front that, okay, I can't paint my walls this color, I can't change my door this color. But then when you own a property, you're thinking that I can do whatever I want to do to my unit because it's mine and I own it. But when you have HOA dues in any type of neighborhood, whether it's with condominiums, apartments, or single family residents, we gotta find out what those covenant rules are so we can be in compliance with that, and you don't get a ding or have some issues with the homeowners association and have some fines because you're not following the rules. Or now, if this is your first time to our channel, you want to go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to receive all of the current market information that we want to share with you about this great city. So if we find out these things up front, you can make a better decision on if you even want to put in an offer for that particular home, because you may not want to put in an offer for that and live in that type of community because of the covenant rules. So we want to find out that up front. You also want to know what are your boundaries for your unit, in parking spaces and things like that. When you have people over and living in an apartment complex or a condominium, are you responsible for, do you have your own personal parking space, or do you have 2 parking spaces per unit? We need to find those things out just in case you have families over, friends over, and so there's not any issues with you parking in somebody else's parking space. It can get, it could be kind of challenging sometimes living in apartment complexes and condos. So we want to know this up front, what belongs to you and what belongs to someone else. So there is, clear guidelines, clear rules. You're not guessing, and everybody understand that this is community property. It's first come, first serve. That's we need to know this, because definitely when you're moving in for the first time, let's say after closing, and this that day or the next day, and you're moving in with your U-Haul and all the parking spaces are taken, where would you park your U-Haul? This is going to be an issue, because you might have to walk some distance with all your furniture going into your unit. So, it may not seem like it's nothing, and sometimes it may not be nothing to some people, but for you, that's important to you. If you are living in this particular building and you have to park some ways down, with this, with your U-Haul to move all your stuff into your unit, it's one thing that if you have to park a little ways down and you just getting out the car coming from work or coming from wherever and you're coming in, but that's kind of challenging with big furnitures, walking a sidewalk a distance to get to your unit. So we want to understand and know your boundaries. Definitely what's yours and what's not yours, what's community properties, and what's actually you're responsible for as far as your boundary attached to your unit. Another thing you may want to consider, and this is something that we have to look into, finding out, even with the city with single family homes, can you run a business in your unit? That is something important with all the entrepreneurs that are popping up right now, and people are very business savvy and they're working from home a lot due to the COVID and things like that. We want to find out, can you run a business in your unit? So there's no hesitations and no, guessing or no assumptions on anyone's part. If this is something that you are interested in and wanting to start a business, maybe you're a hairstylist and you stay at home and you want to do some hair from your home. Is that going to be a problem? Going back to the parking, is there guest parking? Is there an allotted parking for yourself and maybe 2 other clients? Again, yourself and some family members or friends, or things like having get-togethers and gatherings over where you're having 5 to 10 more people. We know that it's not every day that you do this, but what do they say? How does that look? But this is something that we want to look in, being, like I said, being that a lot of people are working from home at this point in time. We want to know, and definitely if this is something that you're considering working from home, we want to know if that's okay for you to do that. Is there a rule against you having any type of home business? And if there isn't a rule, is there any specific businesses that you can't run out of your particular unit? And so for all military people out there that's here today, gone tomorrow, you're here 3 months and gone 6 months, and you travel a lot, you're probably a single parent, or maybe you're just a single, period. You want to know, can you rent your unit out, like while you're gone, or if you are PCS into a different location and you want to keep your unit, is there any rules against you renting out your particular unit in that particular condo complex? So we need to know all of that up front, so you'll know moving forward if this is a good investment or not. And most of the time, yes, it is. I don't think you can assign your property over to anyone else, but I don't think that there is a problem with you renting it out if you're military and you're PCS and then you're going to keep your unit, but you're renting it out. But of course, again, rules change, regulations change so much. And has been changing. Red pin anything at this time and say yes, definite, unless we find out, because even from condo to condo, as far as different condo associations, is different. This condo complex may say no, you can't do this or that, but the next one down the street may say that that's okay with them. So we need to find out from that particular unit, is it okay? You as a military person, you're moving, military personnel, even contracting, you're moving in and out and you're here and maybe gone 6 months out of the year. Can you rent out your unit? And if so, what are the necessary things do they require from you in order to do so? Of course, everyone that's out there that loves, their fur babies, we need to find out up front, are there any pet restrictions? And even if there isn't any pet restrictions and you want to know how many can you have, because I, have sold single family homes to people that you think, 1 or 2, that's kind of the norm, even 3 dogs. But I have had clients that has had 7, 8 or more dogs. So we need to find out that up front, because me just communicating with a client and saying, do you have pets? The answer is yes, I do. But now we have to get a little bit more detailed as to how many and what are they. We've seen people with pigs, we've seen people with chickens, so it's just not your normal cat and dog. So we need to know that up front from you. You be up front with us and let us know, hey, I have cows. So I need to know that as your realtor. So again, we need to find out what are the pet rules and how many, what is the rules and regulations on pets for this particular condo. Another thing you want to know as a homeowner, and you should, is what exactly do I own? What do you actually own in this condo? In a condo, you will often own your specific unit and a certain percentage of any common areas. Your copy of your CC&R should precisely outline what is a part of your unit and a part of the common areas. In addition to the other condos docs, it should show the interest that you have and the ownership that you have in the property. So again, there is a little bit to know if you are interested in purchasing a condo. It is a great investment here, definitely in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We are right next door to Fort Liberty, so there is military personnel, PCS in here, in and out all the time. So condos in and of itself is just a good investment, definitely for first-time home buyers and even single parents, or affordable for you as well. And it's also, there's not a lot of responsibility for a condo versus you as a first-time home buyer or a single parent getting into a single family home, and you're not used to that feel of it, of taking care of the yard, and you have a child and you're by yourself and you have to take care of all of that. Not that it can't be done, because I sell homes to single parents all the time, but this is just another option. If you are definitely military and you're moving and going in and out, you don't have to worry about the yard work too much at all on your unit, and the maintenance on owning a condo is much less than owning a single family home. Plus, if this is your first time home, this is your first home, you can get in here, stay in here for 3 to 5 years, build some good equity in the home. You can resell it if you want to, or you can keep this and move into something bigger and better and keep this as your first investment property. So this is a win-win, getting into a condo, especially at this point in time, because by the time they hit the market, they are gone. So again, condos are great to have. You just need to keep in mind some of those items that we talked about today, and there's some other things as well, but the most part is make sure you're doing your budgeting, make sure you understand that what you're actually paying for in a unit, because sometimes getting these condos, you can pay more with your PITI, which is your mortgage, and on top of that, $200, $100, $300 for HOA on top of that. You could have might as well went and got you a single family residence and paid pretty much the same thing and have all your own walls, and all your own parking space and your own yard and all of that good stuff. So I'm not trying to say that to discourage you, but I always like to be upfront with my clients and maybe give you something to consider or think about when it comes down to purchasing any type of property. What is the best fit for you at this point in time? So that's what we want you to look into, and then also look into your insurances, making sure that you have your own, you have enough funds put aside also to be able to support your monthly payment and your insurance and all the other maintenance that you would need to protect your investment. You want to make sure that you have a good ROI, meaning you're getting something at a good price at this time that you are going to take care, and hopefully it appreciates, so you can make some money on the back end, or even some quick money, or even some passive money where you're going to rent it out, meaning buy and hold it in some years and build some equity in it, and be able to take that out and maybe add that into roll that over into a bigger home for yourself. Do your due diligence. Make sure that you know what you're getting into. Another thing that we didn't talk about too much is the noise. in any type of condominium, apartment complex, apartment living. You just have to take in consideration of that. What floor are you on? If you are on the bottom floor and there's units above you, you know you're going to hear, some walking and some, talking and some yelling and some running, or, music and all that other stuff that goes on when you're having condo living. And then you have to be cognizant of that, of others, but you need to be respectful for others as well. So you want to just keep those things in mind, when you are looking into purchasing a condo. It is something it's a great investment to be able to get into at this point in time. Hold it for a little while, and then you can pick and choose what you want to do with it in the future. Well, I hope you learned something from today's video. If you did, go ahead and leave us some comments in the description box below. Let us know if you've ever owned a condo and what was your experiences. So again, as always, we are moving forward one home at a time, and we will see you in the next video.